That's about all the longer you can run that pipe before you have to put a tower. So out here, we're going to have a tower. And so on, and there will be multiple spans and towers till you get the proper length that you desire on the system. So if you have 175-foot spans and you have 7 towers, you can multiply 7 times 175 and you'd know how far out there you'd be, and that's about a quarter of a mile. And that's a pretty standard length. When you drive by a field and see a center pivot out there and you count 7 towers, you probably have a quarter-mile machine. Now the older machines were only 125 feet approximately between towers. So it took 10 towers to get a quarter mile on those. 125 times 10 is 1,250 feet, plus a boom off the end of the last tower. You can get out there to 1,300 feet if you so desired, and that would be your 1,320 feet's a quarter mile. And so you can get right out to that length. This span then has to be supported. This pipe, you just don't put pipe across in midair and hope it to stay up. You got to have something to get that pipe supported. So we have to put a trussing system under that pipe. We don't put it over, we put it under. Now, the old days, they used to have a system where you could have short spans and they used cables above the pipe, and they would have cables coming in from each tower. They put a great big A-frame at the tower, above the tower, and have cables coming down to support the pipe. They could only span about 80 feet by doing that. But what they do now is that they put truss rods and V-jacks underneath these things to give them support. So the most common is what we call a bowstring truss. And this would have 2 sets of truss rods under it, so we're looking right in at the side of it. But if you looked right down on the top of it, a top view, what it's going to look like is you got the pipe running here. Those, do this in a different color. These truss rods run out in an arc like this, and then these spanner bars, it's going to come off the pipe like this. Now we'll see this live and in person out on the field. But we have a very structured set of rods and cross arms that are supporting this. An understructure that is supporting that pipe and making it bow up. And very cleverly, they call that a bowstring truss. Now there is one manufacturer that still manufactures a bridge truss under the pipe, and there are a lot of machines out in the field that do have also a bridge truss, and it has a little different look. Here with a bridge truss, we literally run the pipe flat. So that's the pipe, and the truss is all underneath, and it looks like an old railroad trestle. And the trussing is all under the pipe, but also with a series of metal arms and truss rods to give it support. And there'd be 2 rows of these spread. The pipe looking down on the top view again. We look at the pipe here. This would be a side. This will be a top. then these things are going to, something like that. Artist conception, you got the idea. And both are very effective. Both have plenty of strength to get the job done, and are designed just as you would design any structure to withstand the forces necessary.